I sit back, smile, go in and put him away in 1 round. And we will talk again on Saturday night. His shots are basic, and I believe this is where it comes to an end, you know.
In today's video, we're going to delve into the upcoming UFC 264 trilogy match between Dustin Poirier and UFC great Conor McGregor, and the trash talking that has McGregor fueled up and ready to fight. Along with this, we will also delve into the 5 greatest UFC trilogies in honor of the upcoming bout. If this sounds interesting, then make sure to watch till the end of the video for everything you need to know. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. UFC 264, Conor McGregor fueled by Dustin Poirier's trash talk. In their UFC 264 trilogy fight, Conor McGregor intends to give Dustin Poirier precisely what he wants. Poirier, 27-6 MMA, 19-5 UFC, recently stated that McGregor, 22-5 MMA, 10-3 UFC, reeks of insecurity after the former 2-division UFC champion made a remark daring his opponent to avoid shooting for takedowns in Saturday's main event. That didn't sit well with McGregor, who stated that he is ready and willing to compete with Poirier in any way possible when the two meet for the third and most likely last time at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Following prelims on ESPN and ESPN+, the bout airs on pay-per-view. McGregor then took to his Instagram to respond to Poirier's trash talk, stating, "I'm going to give him a proper head kick. There will be a lot of weapons produced on the night, that's for sure. He wants mixed martial arts, he's gonna get it. I've been busy putting in the work. Full focus, fully immersed in mixed martial arts. It's been nothing but mixed martial arts, so I'm ready to put on a show." McGregor doesn't look to be lacking in motivation heading into this bout. He doesn't want to lose the series to Poirier, and he certainly doesn't want to lose back-to-back fights for the first time in his career. Given the outcome of the previous fight, Poirier enters the trilogy full of confidence, and he hasn't been shy about expressing it leading up to the fight night. McGregor, on the other hand, believes such confidence is unwarranted, and he plans to shock the Diamond on fight night. He talked some amount lately, McGregor said. He's gonna pay for that, that's for sure. That's not gonna be nice. McGregor doesn't look to be lacking in motivation heading into this bout. He doesn't want to lose the series to Poirier, and he certainly doesn't want to lose back-to-back fights for the first time in his career. Poirier enters the trilogy full of confidence, and he hasn't been shy about expressing it leading up to fight night. McGregor, on the other hand, believes such confidence is unwarranted, and he plans to shock the Diamond on fight night. Conor McGregor understands his place as the biggest celebrity in mixed martial arts is on the line in his trilogy bout with Dustin Poirier, having lost 2 of his previous 3 fights. When he confronts Poirier in the main event of UFC 264 on Saturday, July 10th, the cocky Irishman has told the media that the third bout is for all the marbles. The main program of UFC 264 from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and their rubber battle is the final bout on the card. McGregor has suffered lopsided losses in his last 2 fights, including a knockout loss against Poirier in January. For the first several years of his UFC career, the notorious fighter kept his half of the bargain by dominating inside the cage. Perhaps his watershed moment came 7 years ago in his first meeting with Poirier, who was seen as a brazen potential with the talent and menacing demeanor to match. McGregor, 22-5, put Poirier aside at the 1-minute 46-second mark of the first round after weeks of relentless trash talk. The Louisiana native exhibited no resistance or resilience. McGregor went on to become the first 2-division champion in the UFC. Poirier, 27-6, went on to win 9 of his next 10 fights, establishing himself as one of the top lightweights in the world. He has 2 wins over former featherweight champion Max Holloway on his resume, the most recent of which was in April 2019 for the interim championship. He lost the unified title to Khabib Abdulmanapovich later that year, who has since retired as an undefeated champion. This trilogy fight definitely be interesting. Many expect McGregor to take it home, but who knows? Poirier does have quite a good shot. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Former teammates Colby Covington and Dustin Poirier have a symbiotic relationship. However, he hasn't decided who he'll face in the final installment of his trilogy with Conor McGregor, which will be released on July 10th. When asked about the battle between Poirier and McGregor, chaos leaned towards his old American top team comrade, despite Covington's belief that that a win will not be anything to write home about. Yeah, he'll probably beat Conor again, Covington stated to MMA Fighting while appearing on What the Heck. But I mean, what is that saying? You're beating a guy that has no motivation left in the sport. And I love Conor. He's had a great career, done great things in the sport, but your time's up too. It's obvious that you're not training every day. It's obvious you're not working on your craft. It's obvious you're working on other business deals to line your pockets and pad your bank account. It's just not the same hungry Conor from a couple of years ago. It's a different Conor towards the end of his journey, and it's not saying much to beat him anymore. Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos. The UFC title picture will have 3 UFC trilogies in total, 2 of which will make the list. Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos has a special position in the history of boxing because it was the first fight to air on Fox. The UFC anticipated that Cain Velasquez would be the gateway to the Mexican-American market. He was an unbeaten champion who had just defeated Brock Lesnar with the TKO victory. In an attempt to attract new viewers, the UFC puts its youthful and new champion in the spotlight on Fox television. Junior Dos Santos was a soft-spoken Brazilian who had won 80% of his fights via knockout or technical knockout, and it only took one punch for Dos Santos to upset the UFC brass, KO Velasquez, and start their trilogy. Velasquez, on the other hand, would exact his vengeance. He would go on to win the next 2 fights, completing the trilogy 2-1 and reclaim his heavyweight belt against Dos Santos. Velasquez would land 234 meaningful strikes to Dos Santos, 103 of those 2 contests combined. George St-Pierre versus Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes, the famous welterweight, has now successfully defended his title 7 times. He'd established himself as one of the all-time greats in the sport of mixed martial arts. At UFC 50, he had already defeated a young and frightened George St-Pierre. Hughes would be unknowingly passing the torch to the next great at UFC 65. Hughes had defeated St-Pierre in a first-round armbar in 2004 when he was only 23 years old. St-Pierre, who now has nearly as much fight experience as he did before, would knock out the welterweight champion in the second round with an astonishing head kick and punches knockout. The young Canadian St-Pierre dominated the whole bout, allowing no takedowns and scoring 2 knockdowns. Hughes would be dominated by St-Pierre to complete their trilogy. St-Pierre would outstrike Hughes 28-5 and control 7 minutes on the ground, compared to Hughes' 17 seconds. Chuck Liddell versus Randy Couture. The Chuck Liddell versus Randy Couture series is essential to any MMA history. The trilogy was unique among UFC trilogies in that it not only revolved on a title, but also introduced the UFC to a wider public. Former Olympian and UFC heavyweight champion Randy Couture would make his light heavyweight debut against heavyweight champion Chuck Liddell. Couture, a wrestler, would employ pressure and outstrike the Kenpo striker en route to a 3rd-round KO victory in their first fight. Couture and Liddell would fight again at UFC 52, but under very different circumstances. On the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, the 2 had coached against each other. Their first battle at UFC 43 drew 49,000 pay-per-view buys, but after TUF Season 1, their second fight at UFC 52 is expected to draw 280,000. At UFC 57, their 3rd fight would be in front of an even larger crowd of 400,000 buys. Chuck Liddell is defending his light heavyweight title against Randy Couture at the moment. Liddell could not be stopped. Despite a successful takedown, Liddell would win the series 2-1 with his trademark mohawk and powerful attacks, KOing his opponent in the 2nd round. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the upcoming trilogy against Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. This will be no doubt a very exciting trilogy fight to watch, and we are very curious who will come out victorious. Along with this, just a few of the greatest trilogy matches throughout history. Let us know if you agree with our picks in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.